Halfway through the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, with more than half the seats have now been decided with their results locked into the EVMs. Yes, there are 4 phases left and we will finally know on the 4th. But a pivot point, ladies and gentlemen, has well been established. If the first phase seemed rather quiet, it's because it was. It was rather quiet, strangely quiet. And that reflected in the voting numbers, down 6% from what they were last time around. Well, no complaints on that front for people like me who are journalists. Now we are seeing all the action. You name it, it's there. Caste, it's there. Quotas, it's there. Muslim, Hindu, it's there. Terrorism, it's there. Pakistan, it's there. They've all come back like a comfortable skin that we like to wear during political season, not because it's good for us, but because we are used to it. So who's getting the mileage, the mind spates, and more importantly, avoiding the misapprehensions? Let's open up this conversation on all fronts because we can discuss that has the BJP drilled on Bhagoda from Amethi? Has the Congress profited from the Muslim quota? Who is making the most out of Ram Mandir? Was the comment bazi on the BJP orchestrating terror strikes and the RSS killing ATS chiefs on 26/11? Which one of these were the Manishankar Iyer Chaiwala moments? We will soon find out. But let's open this up to conversation. Rohan Gupta of the BJP joining us. Priya Sehgal is with us. Joyita Basu joining us in the broadcast. And Gyanendra Mishra joining us as well. Priya, how is it shaping up? Because like I said, everything in the crucible and the bucket in the kitchen sink has now been thrown in. Are we peaking? Is this pretty much setting the tone?
Well, Rishabh, I can see this is, today we're talking election is exactly halfway, with 280 seats gone, 3 phases gone. We can pretty well by now, put our pulse on the narrative of the elections. On one side, you have the opposition, they are sticking by their manifesto. They're talking about caste reservations. They're talking about various things the Modi government hasn't done and some of the things they actually haven't done. For instance, like killing of the ATS chief. Apart from that, I think the BJP is, of course, as expected, playing the religion card. They're trying to make Congress a champion of only the minorities and not the majority community. All this, as expected, is what is happening. I think the narrative goes downhill when, some of the allegations that are made are a little bizarre from both sides, I would say. That's when we begin to worry. And the side that is making more bizarre allegations, I guess they have a lot more to lose, because at the end of the day, development can get you that far. Emotion is the one that pushes the final ballot across the board.
Yes, so the BJP has got everything to lose. Okay, let's be clear on this. They are the ones on top. They got everything to lose. Rahul, you can argue what more can go wrong, but that's the same question we asked on the eve of 2019, and a lot more did go wrong. So I don't want to go down that slippery slope. But Priya Sehgal he didn't contest Amethi because he ran away from Smriti Irani. Okay, the Muslim quota, Congress has doubled down on it. Yes, we want to give it. BJP is doubling down on we will never let it happen. So it's exact polarization. Ram Mandir, we were just discussing. Rahul Gandhi doesn't want to go there. Other leaders of the alliance, Ram Gopal Yadav saying today, I don't really like the design. It's not looking very good. Odd statements. And then you have, Channi saying that, in the former Punjab Chief Minister, that terror attacks are organized by the BJP to win votes. So, which one of these go down as he's a Chaiwala comment of Manishankar Iyer of 10 years ago?
Well, we also have the other side saying that वो मंगलसूत्र चुराने आ रहे हैं, आपकी भैंस चुराने आ रहे हैं. So the weird comments
on inheritance and X-ray, yes.
Yes, so weird comments are being made from both sides. Honestly, I think end of the day, it's the voter who has to decide actually what take the history of each party and figure out कि क्या वो असली में are they going to be doing X, Y, Z or not. As said, Congress, unfortunately, though they are right, there is no mention of minority at all in their manifesto, but of past their statements that have been made in terms of giving quotas, in terms of minorities have the first right, they are a bit on the back foot on that front, which is why they are also now saying that we will be not taking quotas away from OBCs, etc. There are OBCs in the Muslim communities also, etc.
It's very interesting. All of these, ladies and gentlemen, from both sides are canards. I can tell you very frankly that the chances of a minority quota being activated in this country by any government is well near nil. The chances of any government removing quotas completely is also nil. So there are canards from both sides, but the question is who's being more believable and sinking it back home. Joyita, why don't you come in on this? Because we'll take the example of the quota war, for example. The Congress is trying to convince the people that, oh my God, if the BJP actually get a two-thirds majority, the first thing they're going to do is amend the constitution. And this, because remember 370, they said temporary provision, quotas were also temporary provision. They'll just get rid of all the quotas. And BJP is going, hang on. Those are all doctored videos. No way, we're not doing it. It's in fact they who want to take away the SC, ST, OBC quota and from that carve away 6% for the Muslims. Now, who's being able to hammer this home better? True or not?
You see, of course, when you're going to talk about what the Prime Minister talked about, that Mangal Sutra and all, the background of it was, of course, that Congress started to spread the rumor that they are going to remove quota. And the thing is that even till date, today also I saw a Congress leader, some other India Alliance partner, also basically they're all talking about, oh, BJP is going to remove quota. Now the thing is that, you see, whether people believe it or not, it is being said. So whether it is to say that, oh, Prime Minister talked about Mangal Sutra and it is like that, but you see, when we are talking about religion-based quota not happening in this country, but the fact of the matter is that it is there in Karnataka. So they have already done it. So it is not that it is impossible.
And Naidu is promising it also. But Joyita, my question was, regardless of what they are saying, are there people out there who are perhaps bought into the Congress argument that, hang on, if the BJP gets a two-thirds majority, they might just remove the temporary provision of quotas? Who knows?
Well, if they do, I would say that they are totally brainless or brainwashed, because there is no way. Although quotas were supposed to be there for only 10 years, the way things are right now in this country, there is no way that you can remove quotas.
Okay, so who's winning the argument on quotas? Who's got momentum with them?
Until and unless you talk to the people, it will be reflected in the voting, in the EVM.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, till then we do not have.
Okay. So Joyita's answer is too early to tell who's winning that argument. Deshrata Nigam, who's winning the argument? It's a narrative in the end. That's what we are here to discuss. There is a Congress narrative. These guys will remove the quotas for SC, STs and OBCs. Instead, we will come and we will remove the cap and give quotas for Muslims. The BJP is saying quotas for minorities, never going to happen. Who's winning the narrative war?
Well, Rishabh, let me tell you that so far as BJP is concerned, OBC is their mainstay, one of the mainstays in the election, and most of the OBCs vote for them. And if you recall, it was the BJP that gave powers to the state government to decide the OBC list. Earlier, it was the center government which used to decide. And secondly, the 10% EWS quota was given by the BJP to almost everyone, even Muslims were included in. If you come within that bracket of economically weaker sections. So there is no question that arises so that BJP is going to remove it. And Congress, knowing that OBC is the mainstay, one of the important segment of the BJP voters.
Okay.
So therefore they are trying to dent that, but nobody believes that. Believe me, on the ground, the amount of benefits that the OBCs have got, Prime Minister himself being from an OBC.
Okay.
I don't think that it cuts across.
Okay, so you're repeating what the obvious is, but perception matters. And let me put that thought to Rohan Gupta. Rohan Gupta ji, we know what's going on. We know what the Congress is up to. We also know you're happy to corner them on Muslim quota and they're happy to boast about it. But how is it registering? Are you convinced that you convinced majority of the people in this country that this is all Congress nonsense and none of this is your plan?
See, absolutely. The whole country knows that what narrative Congress is trying to build is not, it's not going to happen. But they have no option. Because see, what has happened that now the country knows the trap of minority appeasement of Congress. And that's why minorities are also not happy with them and majority is also not happy with them. Because in name of minority appeasement, they have not done anything good for the Muslim community till now. See, in Andhra Pradesh, they know that the religion-based reservation is not possible. They tried for that for 5 times in Andhra Pradesh. They knew that that is not going to be possible, and that's the way they have handled Muslims till now. They have just done promises to them. They have just shown that, okay, we do appeasement, but as far as the delivery is concerned, they have never been able to deliver. That's what Modi ji recently told. That I am not interested in appeasement. I am interested in empowerment of 140 crores Indian. I am interested that every community caste gets the benefit of the government schemes across India. There should not be any difference in name of religion or caste. That's why the Congress is completely shattered. Till now, out of 75 years of power, 60 years have been Congress in power, and they are not able to resolve the issues between Hindus and Muslims because they never wanted to. For them, they always wanted to keep Muslims as vote bank. They always wanted to do appeasement. By doing that appeasement, if it is vote bank is intact, even if they, because of their failures or corruption, people will not throw away.
Okay, Rohanji, when we began this election, not too long ago, just 3-4 weeks ago, we were talking about Labdharis and Modi ki guarantee and Viksit Bharat and Vikas. Now we are talking about quotas and caste. Is the BJP, are you as a party having to now pick up on more polarizing issues, either to get more people to come out to vote because the numbers in the first phase were thin, or because you want to swing this election on polarization? Is that a part of the logic, sir?
No, absolutely no. See, from where all this discussion started, I'll give you the example. From the day Congress manifesto was launched, minorities word has been mentioned 15 times in their manifesto, right? This is the time when the debate started. Why you are talking about particular thing? Why can't you talk about 140 crores Indians? It started from Mr. Sam Pitroda's statement of asset redistribution. Nobody forced Congress party to talk about redistribution of asset. And then they tried to create question on BJP that if they get the 400 seats, they will question reservation. BJP has never questioned reservation at any point of time. So the whole issue, see, I'll tell you one thing very clearly. As far as the vision of 2047 is concerned, as far as the works are concerned, or taking economy to third place is concerned, you tell me what is Congress's vision? There is absolutely no economic vision. There is absolutely no vision for next 25 years. So as far as that narrative is concerned, just give me 1 minute.
Yes.
As far as that narrative is concerned, Congress is not at all in the fray. Congress tried next narrative of minority appeasement, number one, and at the same time question on reservation. BJP will have to counter that. And on both counts now, they are exposed.
So sitting today, here we are. Half the elections are done. Half are to go. Half the seats are to go. Sitting today, what's the big issue? Is it still Viksit Bharat, 100-day plan, Modi guarantee, or is it they'll bring Muslim quota, they'll steal the quota from the OBCs, that they don't go to visit Ram Mandir? What's the biggest issue for you?
See, the issue is very, very clear, Viksit Bharat only. But Congress is trying to divert the narrative. BJP will not allow that to happen. That's as simple as that. Let them bring any issue of reservation or quota or anything. BJP will ensure that they will talk about 1 crore Indians. They will not talk about any caste or religion. They will ensure that Viksit Bharat, each and every Indian, irrespective of the caste or the religion, will get benefit of the policies of this Modi government. When the Vision 2047 happens, everybody will be prosperous. You see 370. They made you big hue and cry as far as Article 370. What is the situation on ground on Jammu and Kashmir? Every Jammu Kashmirian is part of the mainstream now. They are getting employment. They are prosperous. So this is the question. You are taking the decisions. You are adhering to decisions. You are ensuring that you are
saying no.
That is the difference between BJP
we
and
are
Congress.
Sticking to our altruistic agenda. It's about development. It's about Sabka Saath. It's these guys who are bringing up these issues, and we are just responding. Okay, stay with me. Let me get Gyanendra Mishra into this. Gyanendra Mishra, you heard it there. It is Rahul Gandhi's choice not to contest Amethi. Now, if you get called a Bagoda, then that's your bad. If there is a choice not to go to visit the Ram temple, and if you say that you are not interested in Ram, that's your choice. It's the Congress that's doubling down on Muslim quota. It's the Congress that is trying to, one of their Congress handles has published a fake video of the Home Minister saying that we will remove quotas. It's the Congress that is polarizing and making this ugly, not the BJP. You heard the BJP there. What's your thought?
No, so I won't accept that argument at all, because this argument is far from the fact, It is very unfortunate that in spite of 10 years of in government, when your performance is on the card, and if you claim that you have done the tremendous development for this country, you ought to then seek a positive mandate from the people. You only go back to your polarizing issues when you are not sure about your development plan, when you are not sure about your performance. Otherwise, there is no other reasons that you will not go to the public and seek a positive
Okay, but how
mandate
does
on
Gyanendra
the
Mishra
document.
that explain a Kerala Congress leader saying RSS killed Hemant Kharkare, Channi saying the BJP is plotting terror attacks? I mean, we saw Chidambaram do saffron terror. That didn't work out well. How does that explain not Rahul Gandhi not showing up for Ram Temple or promising a minority quota, or Sam Pedroda maybe talking out of turn, or Rahul Gandhi himself saying I'll do X-ray into people's houses? I mean, that's the Congress doing it, no?
Across the country from two parties speaking, I think the list is too acrimonious to even talk about. So today, if the Congress questions the intent of the BJP about their seriousness of reining the quota, it is the RSS chief who is to blame too, because he is the person and the topmost authority in the Sangh Excellence who made it a very clear a public statement. And therefore, see, there is no point. And there are BJP MPs who make the statement that if you give us the 400-seat mandate, we will change the constitutions. And what would be the intent of changing the constitution?
Okay, all right, of course. And that can either be that can be abject fear, or that can be things like one nation, one poll. So let me get Priya back. And Priya, there's obviously now a larger momentum being built. We'll only find out what the hinge point was once we analyze it a few weeks from now. But in this energy that is being built now, what is your assessment? Is the BJP comfortable but still going for broke? Is the Congress getting its act together? Should they feel that, listen, we need to double down? These are working for us.
No, absolutely. I think the Congress has, after a very long time, after many elections, got itself a very good Nyaya Patra, the manifesto. It's focusing on issues, it's suggesting solutions in terms of jobs. I think it's a very good document. They're trying not to fall in the religion trap. Of course, in the rhetoric, they fall into it. But in terms of the manifesto on paper is not really, going into various, the Hindu-Muslim issue. It is talking about reservations. They want to play the Mandal versus Kamandal card, which is fine. That's a narrative they want to set. On the other hand, the main gap in the Congress campaign still is that they don't have a face versus Modi. End of the day, politics is personalized today. Emotion is 50% or 60% of your USP versus any other issue. In that, Prime Minister Modi is still coming ahead. If you ask me what is the one issue the BJP has against the Congress, it is the Prime Minister. It is not Ram Mandir. It is not various other issues that they are talking about.
Okay.
It is Prime Minister Modi's
but
still popularity.
But then what is then Rahul Gandhi? Because his speech in Cambridge, right? He is saying that I was advised, I met with a senior Communist Party leader and he shaped my position on China, and China is doing a wonderful job, and I understand why they're building this One Belt, One Road initiative, part of which of course goes through POK. Then that's an awkward position. He is of course sitting there and saying India is a mess. Today he is saying that question papers that need to be framed by Dalits for Dalits to pass them, because blacks frame questions and whites fail. Maybe there's a logic to it, but it's not easy or readily comprehensible. X-ray, middle class people. I mean, I don't want to discuss my finances with you. You don't want to discuss them with me, not with our neighbors and our families. So X-ray into people's houses. I mean, how's all of that going?
See, the problem with Rahul Gandhi is he needs to make his messaging sharper. He needs, or if he's trying to say that I will just do a caste census, there are other ways of saying it than this whole extra analogy. I mean, it confuses everybody, even those within his party. If he needs to take a lessons on messaging, he should just take it from his sister. Okay. Look at the way she handled the Prime Minister's Mangal Sutra charge. Straight away, she said, my mother's Mangal Sutra has been sacrificed for this nation, and that ended that conversation. End of the day, being in politics is not just that you have to have the right instincts and the right message, but also you have to convey it. Politics is not in a silo. Okay. It is to take everybody along. Rahul Gandhi, in terms of leadership, that's his big gap. And he, at the end of the day, he comes up with some of the right instincts. He was right on the economy. He was right on COVID. He was right even on the fact that China, there was an invasion. But on the other side, he could not convey his words properly. On the other side, there was a narrative that worked, because credibility, people trusted the other side more. In terms of trust, in terms of credibility, there's a huge gap still between Rahul and Modi.
Because once you start demanding proof and you're saying that the Prime Minister is responsible, what you're saying? You're saying Narendra Modi ordered some terrorist to come and kill an Indian Air Force officer. And you're trying to digest it, people find it difficult to believe. So let me get, Rahul Gandhi is not saying it, his former Chief Minister of Punjab is saying it. Now you can't say, I don't know who Channi is. He is the former chief minister. So
And
let me get
his
Joyita there.
choice.
Joyita, so the larger question, of course, is who is winning the narrative war? Who's got their, the wind in their sails, and they've really been able to hammer down and hammer the point across?
Listen, Rishabh, when you are looking at Rahul Gandhi, if you are talking in terms of narrative, in the last, in this fast changing game of politics, what has ultimately it boiled down to, there are two things that are really making the rounds when people are talking about it. Number one, he did not contest from Amethi. Now that kind of sent out a huge message in terms of whether he was although I know Congress leaning people are trying to paint it as a huge strategy and all, but the message that went out was that he was not comfortable fighting against Smriti Irani. Number one, he kind of left that battle. Number one, and number two, this Dalit thing that you talked about just now, where he is talking about, this element of trying to spread disaffection, trying to divide society in a manner so that, that is coming across as very, very dangerous. Now, while we are talking about, and that is what the problem with all of us have had with Rahul Gandhi, because the consequences of his words can also be violent. We have seen it with our own reporter, Rishabh. Tumhara jaat kya hai, tumhara jaat kya hai, and remember what happened in Raebareli. So you see, when you start from a very negative place, how can you possibly be in control of the narrative? You cannot. And if you are going to boil down whatever the Prime Minister is saying only to caste and this is Muslim and all, that is not true.
Okay.
Here are so many things to talk about.
Okay,
Here I disagree with Priya when she says the only advantage BJP has over Congress is Mr. Modi. But along with Mr. Modi comes his 10 years of work. And he has
all right. Okay. So let me just qualify this. Okay, that there is an issue now. When let us imagine for a minute that somebody sat down with Rahul Gandhi and said, "Look, Rahul Gandhi, you will have to reinvent yourself for these elections." It seems perfectly reasonable. But when you translate that and sit in public and say, "Who is Rahul Gandhi?" There is no Rahul Gandhi. It comes across slightly strange. Similarly, it's perfectly reasonable to say that if I ask an American who is the host of Kaun Banega Crorepati, they will maybe not know the answer, but most Indians will know it's Amitabh Bachchan. So there is a cultural context in question setting. So yes, there is some logic to it. But when you say that Dalits fail questions because they're set by upper caste, that can only apply to cultural GK kind of questions. It can't apply to what is the second law of thermodynamics. Okay, that's where you get lost and it becomes difficult. Where is this then going? Are we seeing a distillation? Have we all forgotten about Viksit Bharat, Modi ki guarantee and going to space and Chandrayaan and mission this? And are we all now only interested in Muslim caste? We're back to where we were 20, 30 years ago.
Well, Rishabh, in fact, if you listen to the Prime Minister, his 80% of his speeches are mostly on development. The rest is the response to what suddenly comes up. This is what I have seen. And second, one thing I have come to know, that Congress, and this is an inside information, that Congress is using a Chinese software to predict elections, which has been provided by Chinese. And I'm saying so with a sense of responsibility.
I don't know. I know that all of us get offered all kinds of softwares. And
it is being used.
I have learned through experience to be wary, and the Congress, I'm assuming, has gone through Cambridge Analytica and will be wary. Guys, for those who are committed to AI, the use cases are limited to industry right now. They're scary otherwise, because where does the AI data come from? Interesting. Mr. Nigam, but the larger question, who's got momentum with them? Who's winning this?
See, if you look at the roadshows of the two leaders, if I can, although there is no comparison between Rahul and Mr. Modi, but if you look at their roadshows, I think Mr. Modi is far ahead. Even Mr. Yogi is far ahead of the roadshows when they are compared, and you see the crowds and the emotional crowds which are there. And that gives you a barometer of the pulse of the people.
Okay.
That there are very emotions which are there. Whereas in the Congress rallies, I have not seen that kind of emotion which is there.
Okay.
Therefore, Modi is far ahead of Mr.
Okay,
Rahul.
Gyanendra Mishra, then what would you feel that the Congress this time has managed to really hit home? Because yes, The deeds will have to come if a government gets formed. Right now, it's about convincing people through narrative. Where have they managed to hit it home, hit the right points?
I think the Congress has hit all the right point this time, and therefore, from an Congress Mukta Nara of BJP, you see that BJP is mostly Congress Yukt now. 50% of the current seats has been given to the turncoat from the from Congress. And as Priya was also referring, the Congress has basically launched this time really talks about the issues which concerns the common people and which have set the narrative for this being an issue, and therefore this narrative when being set by the Prime Minister, as Mr. Deshratan Nigam was telling, that Prime Minister speaks 80% of development or 20%.
No, he does.
I would suggest,
but you can say that is the soft part and this is the strong part. Here's the bottom line. People, when we speak to them in the lines, and we've spoken to hundreds of them now across 80, 90 constituencies live on TV. So it's all recorded. Yes, they say development. They do say jobs. Some of them are very vocally in favor of Narendra Modi. They say that as well. Some of them are very vocally against Narendra Modi. They say that as well. Many are shy and many are, of course, very camera conscious. Everybody says Vikas, but their reason for voting might be different. So I have to take it with a pinch of salt. Joyita, quick interjection. I'll leave the last word with Priya.
Well, I mean, I'm going to disappoint Mr. Gyanendra Mishra a bit, because you see, the minute people start talking about development and Vikas, that is one word that has become synonymous with the Prime Minister. So
has he done that much at least?
Yes.
That is the self-contradiction, because if that is synonymous with the Prime Minister ought to have talked about only the development. That's the point.
Let me finish. The whole point is that if Congress is taking this election on what voters are saying about Vikas, it should be very wary, because
I would agree with that, because a lot of them are saying we are happy with what's being done, but we want more. I'm happy with my salary, but one always wants more. Priya, I'll leave the last quick word with you. What's your prediction for what happens next? Because as we speak, the focus now shifts to Varanasi, the Prime Minister's constituency, where he's going to file his nominations in a couple of days' time. The battle for Amethi and Raebareli, Priyanka Gandhi is going to be campaigning there. That's going to happen in the next couple of days. We have the unsettled question of Arvind Kejriwal and Delhi. That's going to be happen in the next couple of days. So what do you think is now going to dominate the next phase?
See, the next phase, Rishabh, if you look at from the psephologist's point of view, is the BJP's stronghold. Here they will be playing a defensive role. Earlier phases were where they were hoping to expand south and other states. Apart from now West Bengal, all the other areas that are going to be going to polls are mostly the BJP where it has peaked, and they are their strongholds. So here they will be playing a defensive narrative. We will see also, because mostly in the north, a lot of religion will come into it. Ayodhya visit has already happened. Again, the Ram temple debate is hotting up. The Prime Minister is also getting into it, saying Congress will come and put a Babri lock on the Ram Mandir. The BJP on the other side will have to figure out, the Congress will have to figure out its narrative to counter that. But just to put in this development and Vikas debate, everybody wants more, as you said. The question is, who do they trust to give them more? Prime Minister Modi or the Congress? And I think in that, perhaps, I agree with Joyita, surprisingly, Modi's credibility is a bit more.
You are seeing the evolution of the subject. So the evolution of the subject that we delivered the Ram Mandir versus not only we deliver the Ram Mandir, there is the fear that the Congress will undo it.
How? I don't know.
Because
it's not legally possible.
You can argue Shah Bano was overturned, this was overturned. You can put a lock on a building. You can argue that. Will they do it? I don't know. But you're seeing the evolution. So the evolution is the positive vote seeking versus the warning of what could go wrong. And let's face it, the ex-Congress people, disgruntled or not disgruntled, are the ones who are providing all the fodder. Radhika Khera comes and says that I was kicked out because I took a selfie at the Ram Mandir. Now, that's awkward. You can keep saying disgruntled, but then Gaurav Vallabh comes and says it, then Acharya Pramod Krishnam says it, and then one by one everybody is saying it. Then you can keep complaining. So on that regard, it's probably it's not going well. The BJP is figuring out a few things. Number one, they have to have some energy in this election brought in, because they are worried that the 6% voter turnout in the first phase was an issue, that those were their voters primarily, and they want to get more people who are taking it for granted that there's no opposition to come out. An energetic election is important towards that. They are taking the offensive on these issues. They're taking a counter-offensive on all these issues, and plenty of fodder is available. How does it play out? That's why we do this 18 hours every day. Viral video, if you want to see what Deshratan Nigam's analysis is, on NewsX, YouTube and Twitter. We take a break. I thank my guests. See you in a minute.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.